Welcome to the family with
co-host Catherine Brandt
and Andy Brandt Bernard.
Alex is not here yet. We don't know if Alex is going to be here. I assume she probably will be, but it's
hard to say.
It is hard to say.
It's a tough call.
Kids home for the summer, you know.
Yep.
Indeed.
So is the whole world to Twitter
What
About
the hell is that supposed to mean?
about the X interview with Elon Musk? And,
Oh, you know, we didn't talk about that on the morning show,
it's
but
so hilarious
With what?
watching social media. Elon Musk hosted an X interview with Donald Trump yesterday. Well, it wasn't an interview. They said it was just going to be talking.
Mhm.
And that's, I guess, what it was. I tuned in just for a second just to kind of see. I don't know. I've never been to Spaces, or I never have done any of those things
Right.
on X. And anyway, apparently there was some sort of a cyber attack right away.
Of
And
course
it
there
took
was.
quite some time to figure it out and put a stop to it. And so, of course, the mainstream media is very upset about this interview.
Mhm.
And they said that it was a glitch. It was a glitch. They never called it a cyber attack.
Oh, it was a glitch. Okay.
Yeah, so making it look like X is bad, of
Mhm.
course.
Well, yeah,
Of course.
I mean, it's just hilarious how ridiculous
They're just
everybody
so
acts.
petty and small.
I didn't listen to the interview. I mean, Donald Trump, whatever, whatever. But I have a hard time listening to him because he repeats himself so often
He does.
that I
Yeah.
get really tired of listening to him.
Or anybody running for president for that matter.
Well, and then Kamala, it doesn't make any sense if she doesn't speak off of a teleprompter. So she's really hard to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
It is nice to have, a candidate that could actually put a sentence together.
When was that the last time that happened?
Well, Obama was actually a pretty good
Yeah, he
speaker.
was good.
He was a very
He
good
was a good
speaker.
He
W
was.
wasn't a great speaker.
No.
Clinton wasn't a great speaker. HW was a good speaker.
Yeah, there's just, yeah.
That was a while ago, though.
You know,
HW was like 30 years now.
And I feel
Oh, yeah.
like as the presidency becomes more and more of a figurehead and less of an actual person that knows
Yeah.
what they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
I think that we should probably try to find people that can speak.
Wouldn't be a bad idea.
I mean, it makes us look better worldwide
Mhm.
if you've got a speaker that can speak. Anyway, apparently they just somebody made some sort of a casual comment. I don't know if it was Musk or Trump about if Kamala gets elected, then they're going to need to go to Venezuela because they've got it figured out right now. So
Mhm.
everybody, so mainstream media again, Trump threatens to leave America for Venezuela if Kamala wins. I mean, it was a joke.
I know.
And they just turned everything into such, I don't know what is going on with these, with governments. I guess somebody in Britain is jailed for 20 months because she said she didn't like, okay, I'm just saying what she said. I'm not saying that this is what I think. She said something about she was sick of immigrants raping people and paying for them. That's what she said.
Well,
Do you go to jail for 20 months
in the
for
UK,
that?
you do. The UK is in a very. I wouldn't even visit.
No, I agree.
Somebody posted a bunch of emojis and got jail time.
Yeah, no. If you paid me to go to the UK, I would turn you down.
Well,
I'm not setting foot in that country right now.
When did that start?
It's been a decent amount of time. They've been like a dystopian police state for at least probably 10 years now.
Really? Because I felt like the United States was leading the way on dystopian.
No.
states.
Canada and the UK are both extremely bad.
I
about
feel
that
like
right
we
now.
started it and then they picked up the ball and just ran with it real
arguably.
fast. That's kind of how I feel. I feel like all of this stemmed from the United States government.
Arguably, yeah.
Yeah. And then,
well, it started with our media.
Well, in smaller
no
countries, I
question.
guess they can get it done a lot faster because they've got fewer people
Well, they
to
got
manipulate.
the UK's got like what 2 media outlets. It's not difficult
Well,
to
that's
completely converge those.
That's
okay, I have
true.
a question. What year was it when the whole family went to England? Because it was a wonderful
It
trip.
was like
A
01
long
maybe.
time ago.
Maybe
So
even
23 years
was
ago?
it before 9/11?
Well, it was when you guys were still in elementary school or junior high or something like that. So you were very young, and it was before all of this started.
Yes, it was.
About the time you two went to college. That's when this whole thing started. I started hearing all this stuff about there is no gender and blah, blah, blah around the time you guys went to college. So it's been a while.
Let's
mean-
see. We went to England probably in '99, I believe.
Oh,
Yes.
99 it was,
Mhm.
25 years ago.
Yeah.
I remember playing Link's Awakening DX.
Oh,
And that came out
of
in
course you
'98.
do.
So there you go.
But everybody was very friendly. Everyone was very nice. We stayed at a friend's condo over
It
there,
was very
Flat.
clean.
a flat.
It was very clean.
It was a wonderful trip. I mean, Andy, what did you ducked behind one of the knights up at the Tower of London because you had to fart or something? What was that?
What?
Remember we couldn't find Andy for a while. He was hiding behind a knights in armor or something.
I do not remember
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Okay.
No, it was a great trip. Matter of fact, I'm glad we went to Europe when we did go to Europe because
I'm
everywhere we went was wonderful.
So glad I went to Paris before all of the
Mm.
political crap.
Unfortunately, it's all about money around the world now. It's how much money you can make, and if you have to be a massive asshole to do it, then that's what you'll do.
Well,
Apparently.
if you look at every social problem,
Yep.
there's a huge industrial complex behind it.
Yep, no
Homelessness,
question.
drug addiction.
Mhm.
Yep.
There's some group of people making a ton of money off of
Yep.
it with no accountability whatsoever, and nothing gets done for the people.
Yep.
It's just sickening. It really is. It's sickening.
Well, the problem with money is the lust for money brings about lying like a mad person.
Yes.
People lie. I mean, they're constantly lying. It's really too bad.
It is. It
But it's
really
the
is
people in
too bad.
charge that have done this. They allow people to do it. And, if there's money in it for them, they're, oh, it's okay. Lie your ass off.
Well,
I
the
don't
people
care.
in charge, they just want the votes. So
Yep.
they'll
Mhm.
say anything
Very,
to get
very
it.
true.
And
Joe wants to know what happened with WCCO.
WCCO, what happened?
Apparently, they made mom angry.
They wrote something this morning that was
Oh, I don't know anything about this.
okay. Oh no,
Is CCO television or radio?
hold on. Let me see if I can even find it.
Was WCCO? I remember as a kid, you used to listen to this radio program, and they had this drop that they played all the time, and it was like this kid going, "Wah, wah, 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 wah." Was that WCCO?
I don't know.
Does anyone listening know what I'm talking about? It was seriously like every 30 seconds they play it. And I was like, why are you
Really?
doing this to me?
If
If you know it, if you're in the chat, tell us. Otherwise, tombernardpodcast@gmail.com.
There you go.
did we give away the
I'm going to have her do the post today. Yesterday was a very, very busy day.
It was indeed.
Been having a lot of busy days lately.
okay, this was what made me mad. WCCO /
This is television.
No, this is on Twitter. I don't know.
No, but I mean, is it CCO TV or radio?
It says CBS News Minnesota.
So
WCCO,
so that would
CBS
be
News
television.
Minnesota.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So this is the headline. Ryan Lundgren, trooper who killed Ricky Cobb too, returns to work with Minnesota State Patrol.
I don't know who any of these names.
Okay. Well, Ryan Lundgren apparently shot somebody who was being violent towards some other officers.
Mm-hmm.
Our lovely Mary Moriarty went after him, spent, I don't even know, some millions of dollars trying to go after him. He got off of all charges because it was deemed that it was self-defense.
Oh, yeah. This is the guy where the cop was hanging off the car and the guy was driving away.
Right.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the trooper who killed. Okay,
Trouble.
we're gonna have to switch gears here
Mhm.
because Sage is in the house. But I just said
Yeah,
that
this is pretty violent. You should probably take him out. You can come back in a minute. And you got to comb your hair, though, you pill. We'll whistle at you.
anyway, that rhetoric, to me, incites violence.
There's no
They
question.
they shouldn't say, trooper who killed. It's like
Well, of course
self-defense is self-defense.
They want to incite violence. That's
Yes,
the whole
they
point.
do.
And-
They
and
need a race riot this year to make the votes go in their favor.
And I mean, I don't know how you can live in a society where the police officers cannot use deadly force against somebody who's using deadly force against
Mhm.
other people.
Right.
I mean, how do you do that? If you neuter the police completely,
Mhm.
take away their guns, not allow them to do anything to anybody, what do you think is going to happen? I mean,
It's going to get it's getting worse by the day. I will tell you
yeah,
that.
as we have turned these people out onto the streets over and over and over with zero consequences,
Mhm.
with a prayer and a promise that they'll come back for their court hearings. The cities aren't better. The cities are
Well,
worse.
I will say this: since the entire world turned away from listening to leadership or doing what they're supposed to do, doing what their boss tells them to do, whatever, the world has gotten meaner by the minute. I have never lived in a world anywhere near as mean and hideous as
No.
this world is now.
It's,
And it's all because people think they deserve everything because these political dorks. Oh, you deserve this. No, you don't deserve it. Get off your ass and go to work. Get something done. How about that? Right?
like I said, that doesn't put money in their pockets.
People are mean as they're
It's just
far meaner than they ever.
building homeless, or I mean, affordable housing.
Yes.
Just building affordable housing. Most states end up having so many extra permits
Mhm.
because they're involved with these projects that it becomes cost prohibitive to even build them.
Correct.
Yeah, it's like, why are we allowing everybody to grab buckets of cash every time there's a project that's going to help somebody?
Okay, I want to ask you guys a question because it did come up on the morning show today, and it's something I've been doing a little, reading on this subject. There's not a lot on it yet, but there's going to be. They believe that people around the world have gotten so desensitized to anyone else's feelings is because THC may be desensitizing everyone's brain.
Well, I mean, that's the whole keep the populace dumbed down argument.
Well, it's
That's
the bread and circus of the
Yep,
Romans.
exactly.
Absolutely. Keep
So-
them entertained with, screaming and yelling at each other and not getting anything accomplished.
It's not just THC.
And
It's give them opiates, give
and
them
keep them fed.
alcohol, give them
Yep.
THC.
Well,
Yeah.
right.
Just
Yes.
give them
exactly.
anything that will dull them to the point where they don't care about
Right.
anything else.
This article I read literally was based on the fact that they think they legalized THC because they knew it would desensitize people.
I don't doubt it.
I don't either.
I mean, there's an
there's
argument.
a doctor in the house
If
now
you,
can
if you
answer
can
this.
drink
Uh-oh.
if alcohol, which
Yeah.
also desensitizes people
Yes,
and
it
causes
does.
very many problems in family systems and
Mhm.
I mean, completely addiction.
Mhm.
Then why not
Yeah.
any other substance?
Okay, Doc, we're gonna put the feet in the fire right out of the chute.
Out of the chute.
No
Good
question.
to be here.
There is an argument now, and I just read an article this morning that really is concerning to me. They think that THC was legalized pretty much around the world because it desensitizes people, and that's why everybody now thinks they should have everything, and I shouldn't have to work for it. And they're people are the meanest they've ever been right now.
So they're encouraging the proletariat to rise up against the bourgeois.
That's it, pretty much. I
Yeah.
mean, do you
Well, they
think
want
that's
everything.
true?
Well, they want everything, and who's going to pay for everything?
Right. So
It's
you would
bourgeois.
agree that THC
Yeah.
could be harming our society?
Oh, sure. Well,
There you go.
certainly, yeah, it could harm our society. It certainly is going to change our society.
Mhm.
Legalized. I mean, you've seen that. Well, Amsterdam, they've started to back off from THC.
Oh, have
because,
they? Okay.
Oh, yeah, because they found that people were partying, in the areas where they're supposed to be partying. But then they decided, geez, they want to get out in these residential neighborhoods.
Mhm.
So they're bothering people who are trying to live a normal kind of a life away from a party scene. And they've started to back away from, not legalizing it, but they're backing away from where you can use it or should use it.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what this article said. And as a matter of fact, for the first time in I don't know how long, I didn't take any THC to sleep last night, and I slept just fine. So
That's
it's
good.
really, I mean, yeah, I'm done. After reading this article, it's like, no.
Oh, wow.
Well, needing
go
drugs
away.
to sleep is it suggests that there's something much deeper going on. that
No
needs to be
question about it.
fixed.
No doubt about it.
Like if you need a
Wow.
sleeping pill, a sleeping pill isn't curing the reason that you can't sleep.
Well, and I talked to a psychiatrist about this, and he said the reason that I cannot sleep is I just feel I don't deserve your mother, and it keeps me awake night after night.
That makes perfect sense.
See,
now
that
it's all clear.
that
Now that
makes perfect sense.
Sounds reasonable.
No, I don't think I will ever touch THC again after reading this article because they literally put it on the market to try to dumb people down by desensitizing them.
Yeah, well, it certainly can change how your motivation to do anything.
No
why,
question.
Why do you think they don't care about the inflow of fentanyl
Yeah, it's
over
true.
the borders?
That's
They don't care at all.
They don't care at all about
No.
that.
Well, the way they solved the problem in China was a little bit different. They went to the end user. If you had any fentanyl in you or you were around it or anything like that. Well, the Philippines did the same thing. They did extrajudicial killings.
Oh,
They took you out in the street, shot you, put a note on the back that your family owed this much money for the bullet they just used.
Oh my God!
It was, they sort of cleaned up. But no, I'm sure there's drug use in China. Don't get me wrong, I'm not naive.
They're manufacturing it there, so.
But they
Yes.
they cleaned a lot of the opium dens up and all that they cleaned all that sort of up because they didn't want it around. But you can't do that in America, or you can't do that in a just society because it's not right.
We're getting there, though. I will tell you that.
I agree. You shouldn't be just assassinating addicts.
But
It is a decay of society when you allow
Yep.
everybody on the streets to live and do whatever they want and find dead. I mean, they found dead babies in these homeless encampments in
Yep.
Minneapolis.
Yep.
I mean, people dead.
Ooh.
It's like, okay, this is not decay of society here. You're okay. You're all right with this. This is good.
Unbelievable. No
They found
question.
a dead baby.
Yeah.
More than one.
Yeah.
All right, Alex, you can come in now because we're going to
Yeah.
lighten it up. She can't hear me.
Oh, I can.
Andy can tell her.
They
to
might
come
have
in.
gone downstairs for
No,
breakfast.
she's sitting
Who
right
knows?
there on the couch. I
We're
guess.
good. We're good. We're good.
There you go.
There they
So
come.
you guys do agree with this article that I read last night before I went to bed and didn't take THC to sleep and it didn't change my sleep at all.
Sounds like it could be, reasonable. And
Yeah.
I think every
Sage,
angle
you'll be
should
over
be
here
looked
now.
at. Watch out for
You
Julie.
sit next to Bop Bop. Then I can pick on you the whole
Oh,
show.
Great. That's what we need.
It'll be pick, 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 pick. What? Can you hear
Did you
us?
turn them on, sweetie?
Did you turn them on?
Your headphones?
Oh,
Don't pick at that scab.
Here, let me see him. See if I can help you. Let me hear it. You
Oh,
might
maybe
have to
they're not
spin the
charged.
volume.
There's another pair that's charged over
badly
there.
tuned, not charged. God knows.
Can you hear in there now? Can you hear now? Okay, it's probably not charged. There's another pair over here.
I wish they had like a battery indicator.
I know, that would be
Why don't you
nice.
give me those
It would
photos?
But they
blink-
don't.
Red.
Blink a little.
Mhm.
I just called Sage Honey. What do you think of that? Hey, honey.
Hey, honey. How was basketball camp? Can you hear yet?
Basketball camp.
No.
Are those on?
I can't hear
You can't hear anything on those
Those
either?
are the same ones,
Here,
aren't they?
Oh, you got it on now? Now you can hear.
There we
There
are.
we go.
There we
Good job,
go.
pill. You little pill.
How
I
was
said pill.
basketball camp?
Sage, how was basketball camp?
I didn't have it yet.
Yesterday, how was it?
Oh, good.
Okay, get in your chair so you can use the mic. You can aim the mic down at yourself.
There you go.
No, don't pull on
No,
those.
pull on the whole microphone.
Oh, Nana will help you.
There
There
you
you
go.
go.
Oink.
Better.
There
Right
you
at your
go.
noggin.
Perfect. Perfect.
Okay, so tell us about basketball camp because we were on a very serious subject, so we need a little light moment.
Did you run some drills?
It's basically just fun. It's basically just games on free time.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Well, you should tell them about your exciting thing that
It's
happened.
like-
2 exciting things happened yesterday at basketball camp.
You got kicked off the team?
There's no teams in kids basketball camp.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Baba.
Did you get kicked out of the camp?
No.
No, you got
He goes, no.
Not today.
you played a game and you were
One of the kids of the day or whatever it is of the day.
he was a kid of the day.
Kid of the
Kid of the day.
There was a 4 kids of the day, and then I got one.
Well,
Good
wait a
for
second.
you.
So you're saying that there weren't any other kids at the camp? Is that the only way you won because you were the only one there? He's giving me a dirty look right now.
What are you talking
Bob
about?
just loves to tease you.
I love to
What
tease
made-
little children.
What made you kid of the day?
Working hard.
Oh, I can see. I
Oh,
can see you
here
working
we
And I
hard.
go.
was so sweating.
Were you?
He
You were
was
sweating?
very sweaty. He was very
Is
sweaty
that
when
the
I
other
picked him up.
exciting thing?
No, the other exciting thing is they played some sort of shooting game, and he was
I would
one of the last
to
to
try
be able to stay in the game.
Oh, I see.
And there were a lot of kids in this camp. I dropped him off, and I was like, "Wow, I'd say there's probably 30
Is
kids?
it through the city of Bloomington? or-
Wait, my other
Parks.
basketball
Yeah,
camp
it's a
had
park and
like
rec thing.
my other basketball camp had 30.
This feels like it has a lot more than your last one.
It didn't. It had the same amount.
30.
Interesting.
Wait,
I feel like people are
It
doing a
has,
lot of
like-
stuff because school's coming.
yeah, 30 and 30, same amount.
Oh,
I think
definitely.
it's 31 or 30 or 30 and 30.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, it definitely. There are some kids there that like clearly don't actually play much basketball
Mhm.
Yeah.
because I think the parents were just like, "All right, well, we got to put you in
Something
something
for you to do.
before school starts
Yeah.
because you need something."
And
like,
I was one of the best ones. I was
Of
like one
course.
of
Wow.
the
Of
only
course you
best
were.
ones.
well, he
We
was
don't
a kid at
suffer
the
from
time.
lack of self-esteem around here.
But he does play. He does play a lot of basketball and
Yes.
cares.
Even though I have 3 hoops, but I don't play on one because it's too high and broke.
Oh,
Oh.
it's broken.
one of his. It's like a door frame hoop that Dan
Oh, the one in the
drilled
basement?
into the wall.
No,
He drilled into the wall.
no, it's not a door one. The door one's
It was a
Right.
door one, and then he took off the door one, and then he put it in on the wall. But the hoop got
no,
broken.
the door one.
I know, Sage. There is a door one as well.
I know, but the door one can only go on doors.
It-
It can't
Everything
go
must
on
be
walls.
corrected
Yes.
with Sage Rasmussen.
Yes.
What are you
But
trying to
anyway,
do
he
there?
does. He plays a lot of basketball, and
What
really
was
likes
that?
it, and has a great time. So,
That's true.
like, he went to a birthday party a few weeks ago and challenged the dad, one of the dads, who was like, he's probably 6'4", to a game of pig.
And he had to sit on the trampoline.
He had to sit on it because it was on a trampoline.
Oh.
And then they went out of the trampoline and then shot hoops into the hoop on the trampoline. And Sage
No.
made 7.
I
wow.
I think I made 10 or
Okay.
9 or 8. Yeah.
10 or 9 or
9 or 8.
Yeah,
Definitely
and it
not
was-
7.
And it had to like
Not 7.
it was like I had to throw it like this and it was out of the trampoline. I had
Mhm.
to throw it like this and I made I made 8 of those.
In Florida, a lot of the parks have a big basketball court with a ton of different height,
Yeah.
Baskets,
Yeah, there are
I mean,
a
like a
couple.
ton
yes,
of them.
there are a couple.
Which
parks
looks like that would
There's
be
one
fun
In, there's one
for
in
kids.
Egan. That's It's just like
yeah, just lots of different basket heights all
Yeah.
over.
And as a child learns how to play basketball, particularly on the community court, not community courts, but public courts.
Mhm.
How do you learn how to use a do-rag?
Yeah. How do you?
When do you learn that, or how do you learn
I'm
it?
sure.
Is that something that's an aside?
I
Someone
don't
takes you
know.
aside and said, "Here's how this is done." You know, along with your Johnson products. You know,
You know how bad I would look in a do-rag? I would look terrible in a do-rag.
Yeah.
Oh, we-
You'd
Well,
look
you don't
like
have to
you'd
agree
look like
with
a
me.
prisoner.
I would
That's
look
what
like a
you would
prisoner.
look
I would.
like with
Yes,
your
you're
big
absolutely right.
melon. You got a big melon.
And you also, I think you need hair that's a little bit curlier. You know,
Yeah,
curlier hair.
maybe,
Care-
yeah. I
care
don't
of
have
the-
Like your
hair
brother, like your brother Terry.
Like
Yeah,
Terry,
there
yeah.
they can
He's got the
get up a
Shirley
little bit.
Temple curls.
get teased up a little bit.
He
So.
does indeed. I got to read this because I like this person. I haven't seen her in a long time. She's very pleasant every time I run into her. Longtime Fox 9 morning news anchor Alex Kendall is retiring after 25 years at Twin City
Oh,
Station.
She is very nice.
hmm Kendall made the announcement during yesterday's Good Day show that follows the morning news and said her last day will be on September 6th. On the other side of the State Fair's Labor Day conclusion, Kendall, she's 63 years old. She
Wow,
still
is
looks,
she?
looks like she's about 35.
Yeah, she's.
Has been with the morning news since its inception in 1999, what is known as Good Day Minnesota. In 2023, in May of 2023, Kendall announced that she would no longer be behind the desk for the 6 and 8 a.m. broadcast, but would continue to co-anchor the 7 a.m. hour, remain as a host for the Good Day Lifestyle program at 9 a.m. For 25 years, you have been welcoming me into your home each weekday morning, Kendall told viewers on Monday. It's impossible to find the words of gratitude I feel about my years at Fox 9. I have an ocean's worth of memories and incredible people I've met. Some of them were newsmakers. Others were just regular peeps who tell me I grew up watching you and I grew up a little too. Kendall said she's looking forward to a new chapter in my life and spend some time on passion projects. First and foremost, screenwriting. She's become a screenwriter.
Oh, nice.
This has been my side hustle for nearly a decade, and I love it. And the time is right to go all in. So that's very, very nice. Alex Kendall will be leaving.
Oh, so she's written screenplays?
I guess.
Oh.
I did not know
I
that.
would think that would be something that we would know
Oh,
about.
that's a quagmire, man.
Yeah.
Talk about something to jump into that's so competitive. It's as competitive, maybe more competitive than being an actor. You know, it was
screenwriting. I bet. I bet it
yeah.
is. Yeah.
Who was it? An acquaintance of mine who is an Academy Award winner in L.A. And I see his face, and I can't remember his name. But anyhow, his accountant was with him one time. They were talking about his accounting, taxes and things like that. And he says, "Wait a sec. I have a screenplay in my car. I just wrote. Do you mind looking at it?"
Oh, there you go.
Everybody out there, regardless of what your profession is, you're a screenwriter. You got something in your trunk.
In your trunk. That's what I got to do. Put something in my trunk. There you go.
Right.
I was just thinking, Ian Leonard is still at Channel 9, and he might be the only person I could still tolerate that works there. Very nice guy. Alex is a very nice person. Of course, Passel's not. Yeah, you're phenomenal. There's no question about it. Alex Kendall Rasmussen, as she's known.
That's me.
No question about it. But yeah, I mean, I did not know that Alex Kendall was 63 years old, though. I suppose it makes sense. She's been there for 25 years. I guess that would make sense. But
I remember when she was new.
Yes, exactly.
Don't admit that.
25 years ago, I was 12, so I don't.
Well, you probably do.
No, maybe. I don't know.
Just back in those days, you'd have to watch the regular television news for weather and such.
At 12, I didn't really watch things for the weather.
Oh, that's true. You were a house cat anyway.
Mm-hmm. Sure was.
No question about it.
Yeah, this, the idea that people stay in this market for so long really must be a reasonable market with reasonable compensation and great place to work. I mean, you think about it, a lot of people have been on it for a long time. And a lot of people transition through, but a lot of people have stayed for a long time and retired in this market.
One of the things about local news especially is what people like is the familiarity.
Yeah.
Because it makes them trust the people. It's like it's the same person I've been seeing for the past 20 years. I'm going to trust them more than some new face.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
You mean like Chris Eggert, the best news anchor in the world? Is that what you're saying?
Or how about Tim Lammers?
Tim Lammers,
Oh,
the best schmoozer in the world.
Big shot.
Oh, we can't hear you.
No, we cannot hear
We
you.
see you.
We can see you, but we can't hear you. Yeah, there you go. No, you did.
Okay, now it's charades.
He's doing charades.
Microphone
Shakespearean
appears.
charades.
Now you can.
There you go. There you go. Now we can see you and
What's
hear
this
you.
button for?
Yeah, exactly.
How do I do this?
Exactly
You're
right.
talking about a specific news anchor or just news anchors in general in the Twin Cities?
Well, Alex Kendall's retiring September 6th.
Wow.
Yep.
That's wild. That's really wild. You know what? I've talked with her a couple times. Just the sweetest person.
He's a very nice
Just
person.
really nice person. And, look, I was a flunky intern running around with Bill Carlson, for years. And I forget what it was. And I was finally out on my own. And it was actually, where it was? It was Kevin Costner came into town for a press thing for Swing Vote. And, we're all just standing around the hallway. And she says, "Hey, how you doing?" I was like, I'm just I was that flunky that was running around. How do you know me? But that's the sort of person she is. She's just very, very nice. And, it's one of those deals. I really don't know her, follow each other on Facebook, all that kind of stuff. But wow, that's crazy. It's been a couple decades already, hasn't it?
25 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, recently too, and he shifted from television to radio, but Paul Douglas, same thing. He recently retired. And then just yesterday on CCO radio, they did they're doing the 100 greatest moments over the 100-year history.
Mm-hmm.
And they played Don Shelby's sign off from.
Oh, sure.
So, it just kind of makes you reflect about, wow, it's we've really had a lot of great people come through here and stay. Diana Pierce, again, now she is a good friend. You know, she's from California.
Yeah,
And it's
right.
interesting how people, you know, eventually find their way to this market, stay in this market, and retire here and live here. You
Yeah,
know,
a lot of them do. Actually, Twin Cities is very, very lucky because we have some of the best news. I would say Chicago and Minneapolis, St. Paul are the best two news markets in America.
yeah. I don't know why. I heard Ralph talking about it. Why do you think that is? I mean, it's
That-
kind of strange.
You know, that's a good question, and I would agree with Tom. Is that, you know, having seen watching the news in L.A. and other areas, it is, you know, not that good. It's
Yep.
I don't know. It's just kind of odd.
And we're like 16th or something, right?
Yeah.
We're like the
Mhm.
16th biggest market.
Mhm.
Not like we're like the, you know.
We're 16th.
Yeah.
Minneapolis and St. Paul together are 16th.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, Catherine will tell you this too. When we first we lived in New York. New York news is terrible.
It was.
Oh, it is.
Not anymore.
It is. It's terrible.
Well, that's because you heard Sue Simmons slinging that F-bomb that time.
Yeah, there you go. That's what it was. No
What
question.
the F are you doing?
I mean, there's some good people, but most of them are that, hey, good, it's time for the news. It's that kind of deal.
Yeah. Look, small marketish. It's
right.
it's a odd. Yeah, very odd that New York, you know, and L.A. are just large. I mean, not so much that you don't even want to watch it. You know, except of course for the news ladies who are wearing a tight skirt. And
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
And don't forget about Paul Majors. Paul Majors.
Oh yeah,
Paul and Ron.
yeah. Paul retired, didn't he? He
Yeah, he
retired from
retired
LA.
out in LA. Yep, he did indeed.
You know, but Paul Majors, he's the one that left Minnesota.
Yes,
Went
he
to
did.
LA.
He did
I don't know
indeed.
Paul, but I think you do, right?
Well, I've known Paul for years and years and years. Ron Majors before that. I haven't talked to Paul in years now because I don't even know why.
I remember when we first started going down to Florida, the weather guy had a poodle with sunglasses and little outfits on.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's who would report the weather.
Yep.
There's this
There you
old
go.
guy with his little dog.
Well, yeah,
It was like, we were like, are we back in the 1940s? It's so
that's
funny.
small market sort of shtick.
Yeah,
isn't it? In
it
the
is,
rubber
yeah.
chicken, it's small
Yeah.
market kind of
Yep.
thing. It's the cowbell. It's a small. It's that.
Well, yeah. Well,
I don't know that.
West Palm Beach did. They had cows and orange groves out on the west side of the county.
Yeah.
Back in those days. Now everything's built up and very cosmopolitan, but it was a little podunky little market back then.
It's a long time getting away from that too.
Yeah,
That stuff sticks around.
it does.
Timmy, my favorite Paul Major story is he and I got in a battle about something. So I was going after him and he was going after me and all the rest of it. And we're in Hawaii, Catherine and I, and we get a call while the kids were there too, Andy and Alex were there, that our barn burned down. And when Paul Majors, somebody sent me the video, when Paul Majors read the story on Channel 11 News at the time, at the end of the story he said, I did not burn his barn down. So, you know, Paul was an interesting guy.
Yeah.
So are you all set for Giovanni tomorrow? Is it tomorrow?
It's tomorrow, but it's at 12:40, so I hopefully can find an engineer to do something because I just assumed it was going to be during one of the shows.
What's
Yeah,
happening?
I noticed how they plugged you into a press junket, and those are really tricky because
Yes, they are.
you check in, they test your levels and all that kind of stuff, and then you
Yeah.
sit there, and then I just went through this yesterday with Mike Coulter.
Yep.
Oh God, great guy too. And Wahlberg, for his new movie coming out this week on Netflix, you're sitting in this virtual waiting room, and then they usher you in, and then you got somebody. They want you to open your chat on the Zoom window so they can tell you 5 minutes, 4 minutes, wrap. It's it's kind of I won't say intense. I mean, that's not intensity, real intensity, but. You know, I mean, when you have so much you want to get in, it's always sneaking that last question in. Then that 10 minutes can go to 11 minutes.
Oh yeah, they don't
They
like
have a
that
great
at all.
answer.
They don't like
So
that.
yeah, well, I'm glad that it worked out. I thought too that it was going to be a live sort of thing, but
Mm-hmm.
oh well. You're
We'll
talking
see
to
how it
Dave
works.
Bonnie, man. That's great.
Oh, I like him a lot. He's a very, very good actor. No question about it. So,
Did they send you a link to the movie?
not yet. No.
Oh, ask for it because
Yeah.
it's a wild movie. It's really, really crazy. And he's not in it, but I mean, his stamp is all over it because he's a cinematographer. So,
Man.
yeah, interesting stuff. Interesting move. You know, all the actors. All I want to do is direct.
Right. Yeah. Right. Exactly. That's the way it is now, isn't it?
But most directors have his handle on cinematography too. I mean, Zack Snyder shoots his own movies. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, maybe that'll be next. Who knows?
Yeah.
So,
who knows?
so what did you think? Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. What did I think of what?
Mayor Kingstown. The Mike Bryant wasn't too crazy about the finale.
I haven't seen the finale yet.
Okay. There's
We
got
can only take so much of that show. We have to like parse it out because it's just too.
It's intense. Now, that's
it's intense. It's anxiety inducing. Anytime they introduce somebody that you might like a little bit, you wonder if they're going to survive. I mean, it's just whoa.
Well,
it's. I mean, the whole thing is shot so like it looks like a gulag. It's depressing.
Oh God.
But the town is always gray and like smoke stacks, and it just looks.
Yeah.
It's a prison. Industry town. A prison is the main industry, but I've had the good luck of talking with everybody except for Renner. Won't take my calls this season, but the last guy I talked to was the guy that plays Ian, Hugh Dillon, who co-created it.
Yeah.
And he grew up in a town like that.
Did he really? It's supposed to be Michigan, right? A city in Michigan.
Yes. Yeah. And it's Kingston, Ontario, where he grew up.
Oh, okay.
So I guess that's where you get the Kingstown, which
right?
It's not a real town. But yeah, it is depressing. It's compelling though. And so how far along are you?
Let's see. Iris is now working for the
Russian new guy. The new guy.
Yeah, she's double agent for the Russian guy. And that's where we are.
Mm.
And there just was, of course, another slaughter. I don't know. Every 5 minutes, some group is going over and gunning another group down. It's like, wow, where do you find replacements that want these jobs?
And the year started out, the season started out with somebody poisoning the drug supply that went into the prison.
Right.
Ooh.
Right. I never thought I'd side with a drug dealer, but Bunny's become one of my favorite.
You know what? I mean, and he actually is the first guy. His name is Toby Bamtifa, who plays Bunny. And I've liked the character from the very beginning because he's so damn funny.
Yeah.
Him and Mike get together. And most of the time, I mean, it's gotten a little intense this season, but most of the time it's like he's calling them names.
Right.
Funny 6-foot leprechaun and stuff like that. Mike McCluskey.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was saying, this is difficult for me because it's like, I like this guy, even though he's a bad guy.
Yeah, he's a bad guy. They're all bad guys.
Yeah, they're all bad guys. So there's like levels of bad.
Right.
So, at least he's entertaining.
He's very entertaining, but it makes me wonder, are there really towns like this where the industry is like a prison?
So. Apparently.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah.
Kingston, Ontario, apparently.
And everybody's just trying to keep the peace. And it's like, we can let so many drugs into the prison to keep prisoners happy. You take away their drugs and they're going to riot. I mean, it's just like, whoa.
I know. It's intense. Or the mayor is actually not the mayor. The mayor is the fixer, the guy who's just, and that's the weird thing. I mean, you got these new factions coming in that are really bad people. And my inclination would be, let's get these people arrested. But, you cut off the head of the snake and then it's just going to be replaced by two more. So Mike is just trying to still keep the peace with those people.
Yeah, it's a complicated ecosystem, that's for sure.
It's an interesting concept. If you were a prison, say, and you actually provided drugs as part of calming the prison population, and just softening, just doing it on purpose,
Sure.
that would be a huge civil liberties kind of a thing. But if you just sort of let it in illegally,
pretend you
for
don't
the
know.
same reason,
Right.
it doesn't really matter.
Right.
Very interesting difference.
Mm-hmm.
Have you watched the show, Ralph?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
but
you
man-
really should.
Oh no, no. I
You don't
can't
want
take.
to?
No, I'm sorry. I just don't have the intestinal fortitude for depressing things. I'm playing a video game now, and
What's the show?
and the lead
Mayor of Kingstown.
and the guy dies of tuberculosis. I mean, it's just I'm not.
Would this
Good
be a
with
Red Dead Redemption?
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm not. I'm just not good with the depressing things.
That's why we
Lindsay-
can't watch. Every couple of weeks we can watch one of those, and then we have to watch a comedy afterwards to cleanse our palate. Because
And the real
it's-
life part of it, where he almost got killed in real life.
I know it's surprising that he came back so fast.
Yes.
Well, and that's been the topic of all these interviews I've been doing, because the last one, Tom, I did was with Hugh Dillon, who co-created it with
Right.
Taylor Sheridan and plays Ian Ferguson. And he said that there was no way that Jeremy would have allowed for them to tailor the script to his injuries, meaning let's say that during the off season or in the events of the off season he got hurt and now he's in a wheelchair, because when you see him on screen there is no difference than what he was doing before. I mean, granted, some of the stuff stuff, but he's still there swinging and taking the punches or fake punches or whatever. So it is really, really amazing, because it was 1 year, almost 1 year to the day after that accident that he started shooting season 3.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm thinking, I won't tell you about what happens in the last episode, but clearly they did not shut the door on this one, and they have to have a season 4, if not for any other reason. Hey, Renner, he performed a miracle here by coming back. You got to give the guy at least one more season.
Yeah, and it would have been easy to write around injuries in that town.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
There was a drive-by. They shot his legs.
Yeah, it would have been so easy.
He has to work another season to pay for his medical bills.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh my God, in the rehab. I mean, I don't know if you caught the Diane Sawyer interview thing with him, the first big thing he did, but holy God. I mean,
I will tell you this.
Yeah.
Oh, you weren't done yet. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. I've had various cast members describe his injuries, and Nakar Zadigan, who plays the DA, said he came back from the dead. I mean, that was like how grave it was.
No question. But I just wanted to point out, Hugh Dillon is a terrific writer and producer. He was on a Canadian show called Flashpoint, and he was really good on that show too. Yeah, very talented guy.
He is, and he said that they were sitting on the script for Kingstown for 10 years.
Wow.
And he said one of the things that Taylor Sheridan taught me was never compromise. That whole idea, and because Ralph won't see it, and if you haven't seen the show by now, 3, 2, 1, spoiler alert, a major character dies in the pilot episode. And it's like a likable actor. People know him. And it's like, what in the hell? How do you kill off one of the main people in the pilot? And he said that's the way it was written 10 years ago. And he refused to compromise, because that's the sort of thing that you would never see in any other show, where you introduce this really likable all-American guy.
Right.
And all of a sudden, boom, he's executed. He killed execution style, kind of, in the pilot. So, yeah, I mean, he said, I've been taught to never compromise. And I like Hugh because he slung around a few F-bombs in the interview, which is fun. One of my favorite word, maybe, possibly. I don't know. I like others. I like the word kismet for some reason. I don't know why. So, but maybe my favorite swear word is the F-bomb. And so it was fun, man. This guy's passionate. I was just telling you when you were away there for a second, telling Catherine that he grew up in Kingston, Ontario, in
Right,
a
right.
town similar to Kingstown, which is a fictional town.
Yeah,
So
I just
that's
wa-
where it was inspired. That was inspired it.
You just watch the show and you go, why does anyone live here?
Yeah, like move.
Why
That's
would
what somewhere
anyone
else.
raise a family in this
Move.
depressing, horrible?
That's the same question I ask everybody too. Why 6 words? Get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, get out.
And the only person that had, she said, well, the Nikar Zadigan, in the character in the show, and hopefully they boost her to a regular because she's more or less a regular now, the DA. But she says, my character is the only one that did get out and chose to come back, because you'll realize in the episodes with the situation unfolding, and Mike leans on her a lot to help fix things, like he tries
Right.
to fix everything else, and they call her a townie. They're all townies.
Oh, sure.
Mhm.
And for some reason, why she was compelled to come back. She left Kingstown to go to law school somewhere else. Evelyn Foley is the name of the character, and she came back, and it's just one of those forces that once you think you're out, they pull you back in,
Maybe
right?
she went to law school in Pittsburgh, so it didn't look any different.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh,
Oh,
that
man.
was
Just
uncalled. That was
saying.
mean spirited.
Well, isn't it
Why,
really
did you go to Pittsburgh,
I
Ralph?
grew up there.
Oh, well, that's where actually you should watch this show then, because this is where they shoot the show in Pittsburgh.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, I
They-
thought it
and
was
that's
Detroit.
why you
It's
don't like the
pretty-
darkness. Now
Well,
I
it's
can
supposed
see
to be Detroit, or it's supposed to be a city in
Michigan.
Michigan. Yeah.
Wonder where they shoot it. That's interesting.
Think of the most depressing Rust Belt area.
Just,
that
you know,
ever
they-
existed, and
there's
that's what
probably
they shot.
some side town or whatever, but they did mention, the only reference I've heard from anybody is Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh or
Pittsburgh area. Yeah. Oh, there's plenty of depressing
area.
like that. Oh, yeah. There's plenty
I
of
wonder if I
places
can
like that.
find out where it was specifically shot.
You know, you speak to say, well, why don't people leave these areas?
Yeah.
And it's a great question, but I think there's a basic psychology to some people, or to a general population, is that some people will leave, have wanderlust, or whatever you want to call it, leave where they grew up.
Mhm.
I was that way. My sister was that way. To a certain extent, my parents were that way.
Sure.
Lindsay was that way. Her youngest sister is that way.
Right.
But the other 4 sisters have not moved from within any place or within a few miles of where they grew up.
I think like 90% of people or something like that never
Yeah.
go more than like, I don't know,
That's
10
true.
miles from where they were born.
So there's a familiarity or a comfort necessity that some people have. They have to be close for whatever reason. And they want the same weather. They want the same people around. They want the same things they see. It's just an interesting
There we
thing
go.
about
It's
some people.
60% live within 10 miles of where they grew up. 80% live within 100.
Wow.
Wow.
So most people never really, because 100 miles is a decent distance, but it's not that far. You can
No,
always
no.
go back.
Mhm.
Right.
So the vast majority of people never really leave where they grew up.
Well, that's probably mostly family ties then. you
Well,
would
that's how I
guess.
am. I'm within 100 miles of
Or-
where I grew up, and I always have been.
I
Me
was in
too.
Eau
That's
Claire
true.
for 2 years. And I was there,
Well-
and I noticed that the people that were there had family ties, liked the outdoors, or hated big cities.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
there you
about
go.
right.
There's another thing too. I mean, and you ask yourself that same question when you see a movie, Twisters.
Oh, yeah.
A producer on the Adam and Jordana show, I was talking with him about Twisters, and he says, yeah, well, I lived in Oklahoma for just a few years growing up, and there's a get the hell out of Dodge situation right there. Because why do you live in that tornado alley? I don't know if that's if that's the area, if Oklahoma is considered the place with the most tornadoes.
Well, Oklahoma
I
is
think
where
so.
Twister 1 took place. So I'm going to
Yeah.
guess yes.
He said that this year alone, there's been like 100 tornadoes.
Yep.
Oh.
There-
Whoa.
Why do you stay there?
Well, it's
Why
like,
do you stay there?
how many places out there are just like, every 5 years an earthquake just decimates the area? It's like the entirety of
Right.
Japan, basically all of Asia. It's just like a tsunami just wipes out, 100,000 people every so often, but they just rebuild and they stay there. And then there's the tornado alley. There's areas with volcanic activity,
Well, if
hurricanes all along the east coast of the United States.
if everybody tried to go to where it's perfect, then it would be a problem.
I don't even
Yeah,
know
that would be.
what area does have perfect weather, like Montana.
San Diego.
Salt Lake City's pretty nice weather.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that
a
the
pretty
mountain
nice-
region doesn't really have a
Yeah.
whole lot of like natural disaster going on.
No, you don't have the intensity of weather change.
What does Pittsburgh have? That's
What is Pittsburgh?
I mean, apart from the
It's overcast.
Bullet
dank-
storms.
yeah, the dank weather, yeah. So that's it, though. I mean, any natural weather
Occasional
disaster?
tornado. No heavy weather. No heavy snow. No ice storms. No, not really. It's just pretty bland weather.
Yeah, you want to be far-ish away from the coast, but not too far. Because once you get too far,
it's cold.
you get into like Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota territory, where it gets down to negative 20
And you
degrees.
have a
and-
6-month winter.
Yep,
Sometimes 7.
exactly.
We get that dark. It's always dark.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't Pittsburgh have the confluence of 3 rivers?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The confluence. Yeah. To the Monongahela and Allegheny come together to form the Ohio.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, you know how I
Rivers
know
Canadian.
that?
The area.
Was it? How do you know that?
Because of Howard Cosell. Every time there was a game in Pittsburgh, we're here at the formation of the Monongahela, and every time they were in Pittsburgh, he talked about them
Yeah.
coming together, the Allegheny, the Monongahela, to form the Ohio.
There's the Yakagani too.
Yakagani. There
There's
you
a
go.
Yakagani goes into the Monongahela.
I miss Howard.
Wow.
Oh,
It's a
I
mouthful.
do too.
Howard Cosell,
Howard Cosell, how you doing?
who never seemed to like the Vikings on Monday Night Football. That guy pissed me off because he said,
Because he didn't
you
like
have
the team.
against the Vikings.
I
Never liked the
understand.
Vikings.
You pretty much you were right about that. He didn't care much for the
Well, they've
Vikings.
Never been champions.
That's true.
Well, you
I'm
need somebody to
saying.
cheer him on, Howard. Cheer him on. Maybe give him a little good luck.
No, it's not luck. It's not
Oh,
luck.
what the hell? What are you gonna
It's
do?
money.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
All right, Timmy. So, any movies coming out I should go see?
Well, I just screened, and I don't know if I can talk about it yet, but I did
Okay, well,
screen
don't do it.
Alien Romulus last night.
Alien Romulus.
Is that like
Yeah,
a
I-
Star
Which
Trek
is the
thing?
latest Alien movie. It's the director describes it as an interquel because it's not a prequel. It is sort of a prequel. It takes place between Alien and Aliens.
Mhm.
Oh,
You know, now you run out of space, and quite literally, if you ever do run out of space, but it's like, okay, well, let's reboot this idea, but let's
Mhm.
set it back a little bit.
Yeah.
And
And we're
it's
getting
like
into
he
like
brought Deadpool back. I mean, Wolverine back. They had to. Well, that's a multiverse situation. All
Yeah.
these tricks that they have in the
It's
business to
that-
keep the franchise alive. You know.
I was gonna say we're getting into like Legend of Zelda territory. It's like you got the game, and then you got the sequel, then you got the prequel, then you get the prequel's prequel, and then you get the prequel's sequel, and it's like just do it linear.
At some point, you run out of
Yeah,
timeline
exactly.
real
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
But
what
I
are we
tell you
gonna
what-
have like the 15 minutes in between Alien and Alien Romulus or
I-
whatever?
Yeah, I saw the trailer for that when I went to see another movie, which has Deadpool and Wolverine. in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw the preview of it, and it's I don't know. I looked at it, and go, really? I mean, it looked the preview of it or the trailer it looked like the old movie.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing goes down the guy's throat. They show a close up of that. Then the thing comes out of the chest. So it's like,
Yeah.
well, they did all this already. I'm shocked.
Well, I mean, you got to remember that those first two Alien movies was 79 and 86. So, I mean, now we're talking about relying on the younger crowds to check out the old movies, find them somewhere in this big jungle of movies called streaming, or you can introduce the whole concept to a new audience, which I think is what they're trying to do here. One movie I will say to avoid, and I don't know if you have interest, Ralph, as a video game player, Borderlands.
Oh, Borderlands. I said they had the preview of Borderlands. They had the preview of Borderlands. They had the preview of the prequel for Lion King.
I've heard Borderlands is god awful.
It's not laughably bad. It's just, you realize how great of a concept it was to make Fallout a series.
Right.
And you see Borderlands, because all of a sudden with Borderlands, you're taking all these video games and you're trying to cram them. It's been the problem with all video game movies.
Oh,
Cram this whole idea into 2 hours trying to please everybody, but then you're sacrificing a story because it's really it's a tough thing to do. And then you also have great actors like Kate Blanchett. I mean, I still think she's terrific in the movie. I'm sorry, she is. She's always great, but it's just just nothing. It's just not
just like a movie, just like a series, just like even in video, or particularly in video game, you have to have good story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you can't just take the video game and try to make something. You can't just take something.
I don't know. They made a good movie out of Super Mario Brothers, and name a
True.
name a more storyless series than Super Mario Brothers. Guy jumps on Bowser. The end.
That's fair.
That's the story of every Super Mario
Princess
game.
Peach is there.
Yep.
Right.
Peach
Hey,
is-
that's a
Peach is-
spoiler alert there, Andy. Spoiler. Guy jumps on Bowser.
Yeah.
Or over Bowser and gets the axe, and then the bridge goes.
Don't you think that most of these video games would not be as popular if they didn't have those little noises when you?
Oh, absolutely. The
when you
sound
jump on
design
something?
is
the little music
Yeah,
and
it,
the
keeps,
little-
it keeps it
absolutely.
going.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah,
That arcade music.
that's one of
Yeah.
the things about new games that like the music, they have like all this bombastic orchestral music and all the sound effects are realistic, but it takes away something, because it's like, if you play the jump sound effect from any game from the 80s, people are going to be like, oh yeah, that's that game. But play any sound effect from a modern game, they're going to be like, I don't know, it just sounds like, a gun being fired or something.
And that's
So
the cool thing about Fallout is all that music from the 40s.
Yeah. Well, they
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
adopted that.
Cool.
Yep.
That's a great retro
Yep.
mood enhancer right there. So yeah, I love that sort of stuff. And you know what's really cool about that is my two sons, who are just huge fans of it, they love that music now because of that.
Yep. Country Roads
really
became
great
the
music.
biggest song of for 5 years because of Fallout 76. Take Me Home, Country Roads.
No.
Yeah, that song was like completely forgotten, and then all of a sudden, everyone knows this song.
You're talking John Denver?
Yeah,
Or-
Take Me Home, Country Road,
Yeah. Yep.
for the place I
Yeah,
belong.
no.
Yeah, it was in
West
Fallout
Virginia.
76, West Virginia, exactly.
Is
They put it in Fallout 76, and now all of a sudden, everyone knows it.
was it set in West Virginia?
Was it? That's a good.
Let's look.
I never played 76
Nor
because
did
it's
I.
not good, but it's still big enough that it made a splash.
Well, there you have it. That's going to do it for the man. You extended it out to an hour show today. That's pretty good.
All righty. Well, I will tell you all about Alien Romulus on Friday on the morning show.
We will look forward to it, Palomino.
Romulus.
All right. Have fun with Giovanni tomorrow, man.
Bye-bye.
Leash. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
All right. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Tim Lammers, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to do it. We will talk to you tomorrow.
Baby.
Got a picture in my pocket, reminds me of this one was before. Every time I hear the singing, reminds me how you talk in my door.